Last of the Dragonlords, Chapter 11, Flashlight 20.
Eating?
Appetite side. Yeah, Pumpkin?
I'm hungry.
Thank you, Stan. Appetite groaned, and turned her head to look at the other Earth pony. How on Terra could you possibly be hungry? He only ate half an hour ago at least. The moment after she said those words, she felt incredibly stupid. This was Pinky she was talking to. She could eat all of Ponyville was made out of chocolate and still have room to spare.
This hungry.
Pinky gave Applejack puppy dog eyes.
Oh, Applejack, let me have just a small bite. Pretty please, I'll be your friend.
You're all right, my friend, Blakey. Applejack said, sorry, but no. We need that food if we want to continue looking for Fluttershy. She took her eyes off the pouting pony and looked around her. That's exactly where is he? She wondered aloud. Around her were large pools of black, sticky wire that bubbled and popped every few seconds. The trees and bushes were dried up skeletons with a single touch that would break them apart. The only thing keeping the 5 ponies and 1 horse safe was the narrow, muddy path they were forced to navigate. Applejack recalled back to how their hunt had brought them here. It was early in the morning when they arrived at the ragged mountain range. Now the shadows clouded their steps as they walked through the dense woodland. The trees whistled as the treetops were blown about by the wind above them. With the sun behind the mountains, the morning was a cold one. When they finally made it out of the woods, they stumbled onto a large clearing on a small dirt path that led east, towards a place thrown what later called the Frozen Steps. It was in the clearing where they had discovered, to their joy, first-sight hoofprints. Throw stood the ground and raised his head to look out. These tracks are fast. Probably about a day old at least.
So, we're in the right direction?
Abel asked. Throw nodded. Less than a day or so ahead. If we hurry, we'll be able to catch up with her. They only run a few more feet when Frollo throws, staring at the ground in horror. The 5 ponies looked at where he was staring at. A single yellow feather, slightly dirty from the evening's rain, lay in one of the hoofprints.
Don't worry about Thrilla, Rainbow said. Pegasus ponies lose their feathers from time to time. So it should be something to worry about. Hey, it's even giving us a clue to where she's headed.
Yeah, Throw said with a hint of reluctance. It's a place I don't like at all. The Frozen Steps. He looked back down at where the feather was and noticed something different about the hoofprints on the ground. Give me your hoof, Twilight, please, he asked the pony next to him. Twilight nodded and brought her hoof up. Throw gently guided Twilight's hoof onto the print. In his surprise, he found it bigger than hers. Just for Twilight to walk over to the long side, and found it to be a perfect fit. Well, these tracks are typically Fluttershy's. Throw said as he pointed to the mare-sized hoof mark on the muddy ground. These ones, however, he pointed to the ones alongside, larger, and would soon belong to a stallion. The 5 mares gasped.
Whew! Looks like she might have found that pony that she came here to look for in the first place,
Twilight said.
If she said that, then why doesn't she just go home?
Rainbow asked. The 60 coins pondered this. Scripted Firesight's intentions to coming here was to find Firewing. So now she found him. Why didn't she go home?
What if...
Rarity stated hesitantly.
What if... Well, you know. Because...
She suggested. Twilight looked at her friend for a moment and shook her head. I would have thought Fluttershy to be the type for older ponies. The others signed an agreement.
Fine,
Rarity sighed in defeat.
but if we do find them kissing outside, don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, they are kissing. Look. Such a good girl.
I love you, Daddy.
See? Oh, come on. I had to do that gag at least once. Now, Applejack felt cold and lost in a place that could only be described as dead. She looked back to see Pinky hopping along the path, always threatening to fall in one of the tar poles, but thankfully narrowly avoiding. Further back she could see Twilight, with very clean yard back as the tire mirror shoulder her on. Applejack turned and faced towards again. Thrilla! She called to the gray horse not too far in front. Twilight turned his back to look at her. Yeah, Applejack. Sure she went this way? She may not mind this must get her host during the rarity, but this does seem a bit too scary for her. Positive she came this way, Thor replied, but I admit it does seem weird what she did. Even the bravest of horses tend to avoid this place. Elzak smiled. Amazing. One sad reclusive ponies acts like braver than a horse old Varska. Thor turned his back to look at confused. Say, reclusive? Are you sure this is the same pony we're looking for?
Applejack narrowed her eyes. It tilted her head confusing. Don't know what any other players has. Wah!
The pony I met wouldn't say he was reclusive. A bit shy, but that's usually what happens when you meet new people. Well, my experience anyway. She spoke with some great confidence when she told us about you lot, and she was quite friendly and open to me with me and Freya, my cousin.
Applejack was surprised. She heard her stories from Twilight and how she watched Fluttershy kill a bear with her bare hooves and took on and defeated a cockatrice, saving Twilight in the process. But confident with a group of people she only met a few hours ago seemed unheard of when Fluttershy was involved. She came out of her thoughts when she heard a scream from behind. She turned to see Rarity falling off Twilight's back and fall into the black water. Don't stand up, coughing! Do something! She shrieked, flipping her hose all over the wire, splashing the ponies nearby.
Stay still, Rarity. I'll help get you out,
Ross said. Racing past Applejack and up to where the unicorn was now stuck. Although Applejack was concerned, she was trying her absolute best to repress a snicker. I swear, when we find Fluttershy, I'm going to kiss her. Instead, I'm going to kill her! Rarity yelled. Twilight was laying on the ground, breathing heavily, haggard from having to carry Rarity. Her face was flushed with sweat. Seriously, Rarity, you need to do some exercise, she said between breaths. A great. First I fall into this muck that was meant to be described as water, and now, well, my best friends insult me by calling me fat. Rarity whined. Could this game get any? She was cut off when a magenta cloud set her lap shut. Don't you ever say those words! Ever! Understand? Twilight glared at the other unicorn, but faintly nodded. Cloud disappeared from Rarity's lips and wrapped around her instead, pulling her out of the water with the ears back onto dry land. Thank you, Twilight, Rarity said. The lower half of her body was covered in water that looked like a treacle, and the half of her mane was completely straight. You're welcome, and I'm sorry for implying you were fat, Twilight said, her head along pawing a hoof. Rarity waved a hoof in dismissal. No, not at all, dear. You're only clearly being honest. I must admit, I've been putting on some pounds lately, and you must watch the features carefully. Rarity went to the ground. So I could perhaps not a chance, Twilight answered. I'll be off next to Pinky. Rarity cursed under her breath and trotted forward slowly. Elzak sniggered and turned forwards again. Noticed she was leading. She went a few feet but she scratched up her face and looked back around at 5 unicorns behind her. What? 5? You're meant to play 6. Sticking from above saw her ears and increased her frustration. Elzak looked up and saw rainbow dust hovering above her, bright grin on her face. Takes this 1 or 0, she snickered. Hope the wire's warm enough for you down there. Rainbow, what do you think I'm doing? Let's stay on the ground so we can sing together. Rainbow laughed. In Rarity and Pinky's case, that's quite literal, she said, looking back to see Pinky, and somehow got stuck to Rarity, with Twilight doing their best to pull them apart. Rainbow looked down to see Applejack's glare, only to increase and put her forelegs on her waist. Oh, come on, E.T. Not like you're going to run off with the rest of you. Applejack looked away for a moment. Rainbow saw the hesitation on her face. The grin faded. You actually thought I might, didn't you? Lightly, Applejack nodded aside, lowered her head to the ground, saying, I'm sorry, Rainbow. Sister, I know how important Fluttershy means to you. You'll do anything to find her again. First, Rainbow looked like she was going to give Applejack a right earful, but didn't. Instead, she sighed and landed next to the farm pony. Well, you'd be right, Rainbow admitted. I have thought of it. You have? Rainbow nodded. Of course. There was one plan where I would wait until you were all asleep, did soar over the sky, search a little horse cut for her. Then why haven't you done it? Because of you guys, I suppose. It'd be right leaving you guys out here. And yet, isn't right leaving Fluttershy out there all alone. Well, she's not alone. Not anymore. How do you know that, Applejack? How do you know this pony isn't pursuing her? Or is she being forced to go with them? Well, don't, Applejack answered honestly. Well, let's hope, that's all. Applejack and Rainbow turned their heads to look where they were going, and stopped when they found themselves in front of a large brick mound. Dora! Girls! She called back. Come over and look at this! Dora cantered forward and stared at the thing in confusion. Twilight was soon next to him, followed by Rarity and Pinky, who were now separated from each other. Rainbow tilted her head to the side and whistled. Wow, that's impressive, she said, and looked behind her at Twilight with a confused look. What is it? Twilight looked at her stride. I haven't a clue. She turned to Thraw. Do you know what it is? Thraw tried an answer and walked forwards, sniffing and looking at the ground. There are 2 pillars here, he said, looking at the hoof marks on the ground. He walked up from the mound, following his scent. When he reached the top, he sniffed the air again and eyes widened. No, 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 no. Where's it gone? What is it? Rainbow asked. Thor looked back at her with alarmed eyes. I lost the set. Rainbow's eyes widened. She saw his face. What do you mean you lost the set? I lost the set, Rainbow. It came up here. It disappeared. It was a thing that never existed, Thor replied. Applejack joined him, eyes full of despair. So you're saying you lost them? Thor's ears went down and nodded sadly. I'm so sorry, he muttered. Sorry's not good enough, Rainbow bellowed. And we were just a bit. Rainbow dash! Applejack shouted, glaring at Rainbow. Don't you dare blame Thor or any opponent for that. There for this! Rainbow countered her Applejack's stare, and after a moment's silence sighed, hanging her head in shame. You're right, Applejack. She turned to face Straw. Sorry to tell you, Thraw. Can you forgive me? She lowered her head once more. Thraw placed a hoof on the Rainbow's chin. Looked at her head and saw Rainbow's eyes were watering. No, after all that cockiness and arrogance, there's a good-hearted pony who's willing to go an extra mile for her friends. I forgive you. Thraw said with a smile. Twilight, meanwhile, had to comfort Pinky, who, upon hearing they lost the trail, started to cry. Is there any way we can find out where they went? Twilight asked. Just as he was finished speaking, a roar echoed across the steps. 6 pairs of ears perked up and their eyes widened in horror. Rainbow took to the air, scanned the sky, sent it back down to the ground with a horrified look on her face. Okay, Rainbow said. I got bad news, and I got really bad news. What do you want first? Bad news? Twilight replied. Bad news is that was a dragon we just heard. And the really bad news? Pinky asked fearfully. Really bad news is it's coming this way! Quick, everyone, into the bushes and stay down, Thor answered. He jumped off the mound, digged deep into the bushes. Applejack and Rarity dived in after another. And Twilight, Rainbow, and Pinky nestled on another one. What the hey is a dragon doing all this way in Horska? Rainbow called over to Thraw. Might be the same one that attacked Andalusia, Thraw suggested. Crawled out of his hiding place to get a good look at the dragon as it soared overhead. Guess when I saw it, I recognized it as the same one. His hide was covered in crossbow bolts and small cuts from swords, but surprisingly, not a single wound had closed, or so any signs of healing. While his eyes seemed as bright as the sun, because they blazed with unnatural fire. He crawled back into the bush as the dragon hovered overhead, or coming down with a thud, a gust of wind blowing up from his landing. The dragon began sniffing the ground around the mound, legs stretched wide and claws sharp, ready to kill. Twilight looked around at Pinky and noticed he was on the verge of screaming. She quickly clamped a hoof around Pinky's mouth and watched with wide eyes as the dragon started sniffing the top of the mound. What if it scents us? What if it knows we're here? Twilight thought erratically. She turned to Rainbow and whispered, If it looks in our direction, run for it. Rainbow gave her a look that said, Well, duh, continued to watch the dragon with bated breath. The dragon, still sniffing, and stood perfectly still for a few seconds. Every pony got themselves ready to run for it. Feeling sure the dragon would know that they were there, began attacking them. The dragon suddenly raised his claws and struck down into the mound, growling in ferocity. After a while, the mound collapsed in on itself, thus filling the air, and equalized its nostrils, making them want to cough, sneeze, or both. When the dust cleared, the dragon began sniffing the ground, its burning eyes never blinking. After a while, the dragon raised its head and gave a mighty roar. It flapped its wings and took off to the sky, heading towards the height. Thor scrambled out of the bush and watched it fly until it was a small speck in the distance. It turned the face of the mountain was stood, completely destroyed. Not a brick was left in place. All that was left there was now stairs! Pinky exclaimed. Coming in front of him looked down. Thor craned his neck to see, with wide eyes, saw he was right. A flight of stairs did indeed descend down into the darkness. How could we not see this entrance? Rainbow inquired. That's a surprise as any pony about this. Twilight put a hoof on her face and groaned. Ugh! Of course! Illusion magic! She looked at the others to see completely confused faces began to explain. It's complicated, but simply put, when you want to hide something, you place a spell in the area to change your perception of things, deceiving you and making you think something else is there.
Reality is something else. Makes sense? They looked back at each other perplexedly. The back and quiet. Sort of, Upsec said, a small cigarette huff. So how did the dragon know what we didn't? Probably because it gets the fact the right side shot was right. Switched to nothing. I fighting hard as he picked he was getting. Oh no. What is it? So I asked upon seeing the look on Dora's face. Dora turned to face her. The dragon that attacked Plainfield. Was it the same one as this one? So I thought for a moment, shook her head. No, that dragon that attacked Plainfield was red. This one's green. But first I said that one had flaming eyes, like this one. Was she right? Ty's eyes wandered from his for a moment. My clear understanding was going on. First, a dragon attacks Ponyville, leaving only one death. Fluttershy's, Throw went on. A month later, another dragon attacks Andalusian. At the same time, Fluttershy arrives. And now this? That dragon could have been anywhere, but instead it was here. Why? Twilight instantly came to the conclusion that Throw had. Eyes wide and hard as he looked into his own. You think? I don't think, Twilight. I'm certain it is, he said as he turned to face the others. He was confused and bewildered. Come on, you lot! We gotta fight Fluttershy before that dragon does! You think that dragon's after Fluttershy? Rainbow asked. Observe it, Rainbow. But what's it want with her? Applejack asked. It's not what it wants with her, Twilight said quietly. It's what it wants to do to her! I better stop exactly, Nancy asked. He wants to kill Fluttershy, Twilight answered grimly. Grave silence fell among them. Applejack, Rarity, Pinky, and Rainbow all stared at each other in horror. Why, why would someone want to kill her? Pinky said seriously. He's the kindest soul I ever met. Yeah, they mean he hates her so much he wants her dead. What's the creature would want to do that? I don't know, Pinky, Dora replied. I swear when we find her, whoever wants you dead, they'll be sorry for even coming up with that thought. There's one thing I don't understand, Rainbow spoke. He wanted her to look at her. Why are we still standing here? Come on, we got a fight to save! Everyone nodded, began gallop and descent down the stairs. Twilight taking the lead, and her horning, nodding away. 60 coins galloped down the steps and took small passes without even a thought of slowing down. When first I opened her eyes, they squinted under the bright sun in the sky, blinding her for a few seconds. While she recovered from the bright sunlight, she gasped at the quiet city street in front of her. She craned her neck up and looked around, pulling some of her pain out of her eyes, as she conformed herself to it was a city. Dad? She called out. There was no reply. Dad? Again, nothing. She looked around her and with wide eyes saw he wasn't there. She was alone. Has my father already abandoned me? She thought. Shook her head. My father wouldn't do that. Not again. Why, he would be here somewhere. She got up from the ground and proceeded to walk in a random direction. This case left, down a small, narrow, empty alley. She emerged onto the other side of a large street with around 50 to 70 ponies occupying it. All of them were wearing clothes of various shapes and colors, or sort of robes and long dresses that hid the heels. Some were more rags than clothes, but the rarest seemed happily enough that he walked about. On the far side, she felt had been exposed to a city full of ponies with clothes. Yet, for some reason, no pony was paying attention. She saw a young unicorn filly wearing a light brown hooded robe that covered her body, standing still with a small smile on her face. First, I walked up to her, hoping to get answers. Excuse me, can you tell me where I am, if you're not too busy? The filly didn't acknowledge their existence. She suddenly broke into a gallop, going right through Fluttershy and disappearing down the street. First, I looked down, frozen in horror, mouth agape and eyes wide. She shook her head and broke into a trance, before right back to the empty valley. She went right through me. How's that even possible? She went back in the street and saw two ponies close by talking. One was a Pegasus stallion in a dark blue robe. The other, an earth pony mare with a short dress that ended in her flanks, was a color like sunflowers. First, I didn't notice the pony's mouth moving, suddenly realized how quiet it was. There wasn't a sound in the air. No bird song, no bells tolling, not even a sound of ponies talking filled the street, as it should. First, I couldn't understand it. First, she could hear herself fine. What's the matter? Her hearing was okay.
to place a hoof on herself and not have it pass through her.
Okay, she said to herself. I'm lost. I have no idea where I am. Nobody can see me, and I can't touch anything.
She looked back at the street and came to the citizen.
I could try looking around to see if I can find anything written about this place.
Normally she'd be panicking at this point, yet for some reason unknown to herself she remained calm.
I'll beg later.
She reasoned to herself.
Beg when I don't know how to get out of here.
She came out of the alley and walked through the streets, flinching every moment a pony passed through her. I jumped out in front and watched through straight through her. Eventually she made it out of the path into a smaller and empty street. She took a moment to look at the buildings of the city. The houses were built of stone, or done rather quickly and cheaply. They were built as two-floor houses, a small flight of stairs with sides to lead to the house above, making them able to easily accommodate two or more families in each. While just below the front window, small gardens that flooded aside were easily recognized.
Predators!
She squeaked as he came across them.
I haven't seen you in ages.
As he fluttered over there and tried to sniff them, was surprised he couldn't smell anything. And she tried to eat them, but she couldn't eat them either. She tried to try it again, but again with no success. She stood back from the fire as her ears down, her mind spinning about confusion.
Am I dead?
She wondered aloud. She placed the hoof to where her heart was and felt it beating against her chest.
Okay, not dead. Good. So where am I?
She looked left and then right and decided to go right. She passed a few streets, each being occupied by several to the main ponies, each in lavish dresses, robes, and togas, all with wide smiles that showed that this place was a cheerful one. She stopped through a scroll stuck to the post in the corner of the street. At first she thought it might be nothing, but curiosity got her the better of her, so she moved to get a closer look. At the top of the scroll was a picture, an artist's representation of an earth pony and an alicorn staring into each other's eyes with wide, wistful smiles. It read, Fellow citizens of Fergana! Yesterday, the Princess Titiron, the one who led us to all the gloom of the Great War that ravages the continent, has declared her undying love for the Earth Pony, Prince Gadasino. I'm sure you're all thrilled about this news as I am. I'm sure you'll be share goodwill to the new couple. As of now, our fair just rulers and liberators of the savage land beyond our natural borders. I'm sure that you will be speculating as much as I will whether their first foe will be a colt or filly.
Aww.
Flashlight says he stared at the picture. It struck her how familiar it was, but couldn't put a hoof on it. You noticed fur nose below and read, At this moment, our fair rulers have locked themselves in the palace and will not be seen by any pony at this moment. First, I reread the whole thing just to be sure. Sat down and placed the hoof on her chin.
This place, called Briganda, was around during the Great War. So that would mean it's set back in time. But how and why?
She looked at the picture of two ponies.
Could head to the palace. Find the tallest spot and consider what there's to do next.
He decided. She scanned the area, looking for any signs that might lead to the palace. Her eyes soon wandered to a large white tower that spiraled to the sky. Its walls were decorated with banners and flags that easily gave it away as a city palace. While at the top, she could make out a large beacon. She broke out of the canter towards the palace. Thankfully, Celestia was easy enough to be spotted. A few minutes later, she arrived at the front of the palace gate. Outside the large wooden gate stood two guards. Both were unicorns in tailmail armor, and had swords at their sides and spears at their hooves. She went to front one and placed a hoof on his face. No response, similar to the other one, did the same. Again, no response. She moved to sit in front of the gate, lifted a hoof and pushed it towards the gate. The hoof disappeared behind the wooden structure and up the other side. She gave it a wiggle before pulling it back and setting it down on the ground. She hopped through the gate and emerged on the other side. It felt weird to jump through walls and gates, but never part of her. A reckless sight that easily stayed hidden, and showed the freedom she used to get from there. She's trying to pass the guards, armed with spears, who was either standing at attention or patrolling the other areas of the palace. She walked through the palace gardens, admiring the lush, neat grasslands that were arranged like slices of pizza around the palace, each having a single white tree with beautiful violet leaves in their centers. She turned her gaze away and focused on a large bronze door in front of her. She walked casually past the guards and into the palace. As he entered, he saw two doors that were open that led to the throne room. So he could see a large golden throne at the far end, with a small brown one to its left. While at the front of the thrones, arrayed in a half circle, stood at least 24 chairs, all facing towards them.
Those be the council member chairs.
Fluttershy reckoned.
And where are the prince and princess?
She looked to her left and saw the corridor, and out around the corner and out of sight. She looked right and saw it was the scene.
Well, all mostly Caroline, as the saying goes. Might as well go right.
She began trying right, leaning around the bend, staring in wonder at the richly decorated banners that hung off the walls. The floor was a dark white, with two green stripes at the end, while above her, spaced a few feet apart, were black or golden trimmed chandeliers. She took her gaze out the interior, when she glanced at a single door in her way. She walked through and saw a large flight of stairs spiraled upwards towards the top of the palace. Her groans began climbing. She watched. She wondered whether her father was in the same predicament as well. She said sadly as she remembered about him. Only a few words with her rediscovered father before they set off to the highlands. The rest of the journey was done in silence, save for the sounds of heavy breathing and a few warnings on steps. While she accepted the fact that Firelink was her father, it was tricky to adjust to the fact that there were so many questions she wanted to ask. There were many times on the journey Fluttershy wanted to ask Firelink about her mother, what happened to her, why she was left in the orphanage in the first place. But she never did. Firelink never started another heated argument.
He'll tell me when he's ready.
She had thought, although whether he'll ever be ready was the main question. She crawled to the few final steps before falling to the floor, rolling to her side, panting as she just ran through a marathon across Equestria. As she got her breath back, she got up and followed the corridor around the bend once more. A short walk later, she found herself beside several doors. She craned her neck to find there was only a storage cupboard. Next one was an empty bedroom with some straws built for several ponies. She came through the third one and went through the door, only to came out again with a dark red blush on her cheeks and fighting to control her wings.
Oh! So that's where the prince and princess are!
She was now so glad she couldn't hear anything. She shook her head to get such intimate images out of her mind. She hastily walked to the next door and peered through. Supposedly the princess' chambers, with beautiful red and white striped curtains, stunningly bright white with golden swirled walls, comfortable looking seats and a large bed.
Oh, Rarity would think with joy she saw this place.
She noticed a glass door at the front end, leading to a balcony and grinned.
Perfect!
She tried through the door, the glass one, revealing the entire city before her. She guessed at how beautiful it was. There were three walls, a wall holding the city in, a middle wall holding two districts apart, and the inner wall surrounding the palace. The city was a large circle, with wooden huts between the middle and inner walls, while more reliable stone structures with straw roofing nestled between the outer and inner walls. Outside the walls lay farmland that stretched as far as Fluttershy's eye could see. Golden wheat fields dotted the landscape with windmills slowly turning, giving way to the Pegasus' lack of wind. On the horizon, she could make out the fats of the expanse ocean. Below, earth ponies and Pegasi and unicorns walked around, trotted and galloped, flew or teleported their way across the city. Strangely, though, all the Pegasi flew lower than the city walls. The Fluttershy let it aside. The city was a marvel to look at, and she looked down with a smile. She looked back up into the sky and a smile faded when she saw it. It came from the sky like a meteorite, with thick black smoke trailing its descent. Fluttershy squinted her eyes and noticed a grand large the meteorite headed towards the sea. She panicked at first, but calm when she remembered she couldn't be seen, hear, or feel anything, nor could she hear anything other than her own voice. She squinted her eyes to look at the meteorite once more, realized it was slowing its descent. Only when it spread its wings did her eyes grow wide in horror. The dragon was completely black, but its scales, horns, and even its eyes burned with bright intensity as the sun. The dragon's head alone was large, with spikes trailing across from its nose, between the eyes and down its back, while two horns protruded from behind its eyes and arched towards its mouth. Fluttershy knew who this dragon was, and it made blood run cold and eyes water in horror.
Heimdall!
She said breathlessly. Heimdall came out of its dive and soared straight towards the palace. He opened his mouth and fired a large fireball at its base. was exploded in a massive flame and smoke. Fluttershy felt the tower collapse beneath her, so she quickly spread her wings and took to the air. She watched in horror as the tower collapsed downwards to topple into the main city gates, landing in a large dust cloud on several ponies. Hindark hurried around the ruins of the palace, stopped, and seemingly let out a deafening roar. Ponies across the city began to run blindly. Some were heading towards the city gates to get out, while others went back to their homes and hid, praying they would be spared. Hindar spread his wings out far, giving the momentum he needed to stay up for a while. He tucked his wings towards his chest, quickly spread them out again, creating a massive, magical wave of fire and heat that incinerated an entire idiot city, buildings, trees, bushes, and ponies. Looked down to see a group of ponies cowering before him, begging for their lives to be spared. First, I could see one of them was a young mare and pregnant. Sprite Hindar had some capacity to spare her, but seemed to be her failing. Hindar slowly closed his claw, aiming at the group, and closed it with a bright golden glow, clustered together. First, I screamed in dismay, looked away as all the ponies before him instantly turned to fire. He roared one more time before sweeping a row of buildings with jet of flame from his mouth. The buildings collapsed into nothing within seconds. Flames too hot for structures to hold. He continued to do this on every building until the entire city was ablaze, and every pony that lived in the city lay dead. Butterfly flew over to where Heimdall was hovering and landed in front of him. She looked around with fiery eyes to find everywhere was ablaze. Ash started to fall from the sky. The sun disappeared between the thick smoke, blackening out the day. Everywhere and anywhere, the bodies of Ferdinand's inhabitants lay dead, frozen in their final moments. Fluttershy looked back, her teeth clenched together in anger, when she saw the wicked smile that formed on Heindar's face. You bastard! She screamed. I don't care if you can't hear me, but I swear you'll be sorry for what you've done here, Heindar! In that moment, the world froze. The flames stood still, and the acid fell from the sky stopped, only to float in midair. The ponies were still writhing in agony froze. Fluttershy felt her nerves return at full velocity as she started to shake with fear. She spun slowly around, staring at the frozen city in terror. She turned her face where she was looking originally, only to find Heimdall right in front of her, staring right into her eyes with hatred she had never felt before in her life, making her shiver all over. First, I wanted to bring her gaze away from Heimdall's, but couldn't.
Oh, just what are you going to do to me, Dragonlord?
Heimdall sounded nothing like Fluttershy was expecting, had a deep yet calm voice and a slight cackle. So he didn't sound like he was trying to speak, gave Heimdall untold agony. Fluttershy's eyes widened even more as she stepped back in surprise. Heimdall landed with a thud before her, eyes gazing into Pegasus with only maleficence. You hurt me. How could you hurt me? She thought.
Because I was the one who brought you here, Dragonlord.
He answered.
I can also read your thoughts, so don't even try to hide anything from me.
She could feel his breath on her and shivered at his touch. It was cold as the bitter winter wind. It seemed to the Pegasus it was his dad. So you know who I am then? Fluttershy asked.
Unfortunately, yes.
Duranda replied with a nod of his head, groan of his movement.
I have watched you and your father for some time, like a hawk that soars over its prey, ready for the kill.
He leaned his large, spiky head closer to Fluttershy's own.
Soon, the time will come for the strike.
Fluttershy didn't respond to his threat. She managed to take her eyes off of Heimdall, looked at the frozen city around her. She looked back at Heimdall. What is this place?
This, this is my playground.
Heimdall responded with a smirk.
A place for me to remember my most glorious achievements and be able to play them out once more.
Fluttershy felt her teeth come together once more in anger, so hard he might shatter. Glorious? You call this glorious? She gestured her forehead to the devastation around her. I don't see anything glorious here, only the mind of a sick, twisted creature. Heimdall's face formed a mask of rage.
You dare insult me, you insolent little thing.
Brought a claw up in the air, swung at a Fluttershy. Brought a hoof to her face, and slowly made for a ready for the pain that was come. She felt the claw pass through her like the shadow of a cloud. She lowered her head slightly and opened a single eye. In front of her stood Heimdall, his claw still in the air, looking surprisingly confused. She felt no pain, so she was completely okay. She faced Heimdall again, blew a raspberry into him. Heimdall lowered himself once more, brought his eyes closer to Fluttershy's own, then widening them, activating the dragon stare. Presley quickly countered with her own stare, and pitched the two in a battle of wills. Despite Heimdall's expertise and use of the dragon stare, Fluttershy was able to hold her own against him, forcing Heimdall to try harder. Every time though Heimdall increased his stare, Fluttershy was able to counter easily and hold off a psychological onslaught. Her dragon stare were able to produce sound. Every building outstanding would collapse in its intensity.
Why do you not give in?
Heimdall asked incredulously. Because I fought Hagatrice, Heimdall, and I won! Fluttershy answered crying. This is false play compared to that. Eventually Heimdall gave up, raising his head from hers and looking away. Fluttershy blinked and fell back on her haunches. Her eyes felt strained and were stinging as if shampoo had just dripped onto them. She gently massaged her eyes until she felt better. While Heimdall looked down at Fluttershy in sheer disbelief. This was not the cowardly pony that took to her shout he saw at Ponyville those many nights ago. Instead, he saw a tougher, stronger mare, and it scared him a little.
It appears we are at a stalemate.
Heimdall concluded, drawing Fluttershy's attention back to him.
You can't hurt me, and I can't hurt you. So let's talk. Not as enemies, but as intelligent creatures.
Heimdall lowered himself to the ground, while groaning as he did so. Well, Fluttershy didn't move. Her stare was the same hatred she was receiving from the large dragon. Okay, Fluttershy said in agreement. How about this? I ask you a question, you answer. You ask me one, and I answer. Heimdall nodded.
Alright then. Let you go first.
Thank you. How did you survive? The Dragonlords defeated you and confirmed you for dead, yet you're here. Heimdall chuckled.
I survived because I know of far greater magic than any magic user ever would on this planet.
Care to elaborate? Fluttershy said with a raised eyebrow.
When I became this,
He said, gesturing a claw in his flaming body.
I also cast a piece of my soul into that place, which is well hidden and yet in plain sight. That piece of my soul then returned to me after my death, and reigniting the flames, restoring me to life.
You're not fully alive. You're between life and death. Half a life, as it were. That's why we call her a Dragonlord, Fluttershy.
You're not as dumb as you look, Dragonlord.
He aggressively agreed.
Yes, I am neither living nor dead. It's not what I anticipated I admit, but I have been able to live longer than anything on this earth, so that's a plus.
He leaned closer.
Does that answer your question?
Sort of. Fluttershy answered with a nod.
So, that means it's my turn.
Heimdall said with a mocking sneer that made Fluttershy cringe.
When I watched you and looked at your memories, I saw a pony who once said we all need to be shown a little kindness. So, why haven't I received the same treatment yet?
Because kindness has its limits, Heimdall. Fluttershy answered, her eyes narrow. I don't think I could give you any, because of what you've done. She leaned closer to Heimdall's head. Does that answer your question? Heimdall started.
Yes, so what?
My turn, Fluttershy said. Heimdall nodded to allow Fluttershy to ask hers. Why do you hate everything? For what I learned, the dragon face was once proud and noble, and sought to help life flourish, not destroy it. So why do you want to destroy people in this world so much?
Because the peoples of this world had their chance, Dragonlord, and blew it when the Great War happened. You weren't there to see the terrible slaughter that happened those many years, the thousands that killed each other over nothing. The bloodshed that shouldn't have happened. If you saw what I saw, Dragonlord, then you might agree with me.
Fluttershy felt sick to her stomach. You see, the fighting in the Great War was terrible, and yet you say the slaughter you think is glorious. It doesn't buy a hypocrite, Heimdall. Your slaughter is still different than what happened in the Great War.
You're wrong.
Heimdall said.
The fighting of the Great War was over petty little disputes, or basically nothing. But my war is a noble cause, one that will see true peace and total harmony reign across the world. Think about the flutter side, firewing, peace, true, never-ending peace. Isn't that something you always wanted?
Yes, first I nodded, after a moment of silence. But I know it's something that would most likely never happen, ever. It's a dream, Haidar, nothing more.
Maybe, but that dream will soon become reality. You and your father will not stop me.
First I backed away. We'll try.
Haidar laughed. He spread his wings and took to the air. I'm done talking with you, Fluttershy Firewing, he said. The next time we meet, it'll be our last. I tell your father that I'm coming for you both. You can run, but you can't hide.
With that, he soared into the sky and sped out towards where the sun would be. Firewing watching him as the dragon disappeared from view. She looked down and thought for a moment. Fluttershy Firewing. Was that her full name now? She looked at it again to see the world suddenly turn white. She raised the hook to shield her eyes as the white consumed her. She could feel nothing. All senses of her body had gone. All she could hear was the sound of some pony, quiet at first, growing louder with concern and alarm as the world turned black.
Fluttershy, Fluttershy, Fluttershy.
Fluttershy's eyes saw open as she sat upright, gasping for air. She felt like she wanted to be sick. Her lungs felt like they hadn't been working for a long time.
Take deep breaths, sweetheart.
She heard her father say. She looked to see Firewing next to her, concern and relief in his eyes. Felt hope run up and down her back to calm her down. She glanced around her to find herself in the familiar cave the two found, and they were forced to seek shelter from the heavy rainstorm that was now coming down in torrents.
How are you feeling?
Firewing inquired. I feel like I'm going to be sick, she answered between gasps.
Ah,
Grimace quickly walked over his saddlebags resting in a corner and got out a small bucket.
here, have this.
He gave the bucket to Fireside and set it with both hooves and let loose the contents of her stomach into it. Pretty positive horses can't do that. Firewing sat back down next to her, with a hoof across her shoulders.
There. It's all right.
He cooed softly in her ears. When she finished, she tucked the bucket away and looked at Firewing. Her coat lighter yellow than usual, breathing a light, slight hoarse. She wrapped her forelegs around her father and began shivering. It was horrible, she blurted out. Almost the city burned. Get innocent bunnies die horribly and Firewing cut her off by placing a hoof on her hips.
Shh. Slow down, sweetheart. I'll start again from the beginning. What happened?
Fireside took a deep breath and started retelling what she saw. I was in a city, a great white city with a tower in the center that went up to the sky. Firewing nodded.
Did this city have a name?
Yes, she answered with a nod. I think it was Vergania. Or Vergania?
Vergana?
Firewing's eyes widened. Yes, that was the one.
You saw the second pony kingdom of Vergana?
Yes, well, I think it was called that anyway. Fireside tilted her head to one side. You know of it?
I think everyone in Equestria knows about the second kingdom, Fluttershy. Now, who was in charge?
Sea Potter was looking away for a moment. Recall seeing this picture of a nerve-biting prince and a winged unicorn princess looking into his eyes. Firewing gave a light smile, walked back to the saddlebags, fished out a big book with a dark green cover.
I'm glad I kept this book.
He said through gritted teeth.
It's a good bit of light reading to pass the time.
That is light reading, Fireside said with a look of puzzlement. Firewing placed the book in front of her, sawing Fireside to read the title. The Pocket Guide to the History of Equestria and the Rest of the World. She looked up at Firewing. I don't see the pocket side of this.
Neither do I. I think it's their way of trying to make humor. I'm following it.
He opened up the book and scanned the contents page.
Uh-huh.
He exclaimed.
There it is. Page 345.
He flipped the book to the page number and scanned it around for Fireside to look at.
Is that the picture you saw?
Firefly looked down at gas. She saw the exact same picture as the one from the scroll. Love hearts and all.
It's it. It's the same picture. Where have I seen it before?
She stopped when she saw the page hair above it. Lesson of Hearts and Hose Day. She stared at the headline for a long time with wide eyes, then back at the Firewing.
Is what I saw what truly happened?
Firewing nodded.
After the prince gave the princess the love potion, the two went into seclusion and weren't seen in public ever again.
Fluttershy nodded with a small blush on her cheeks, as he remembered seeing them together.
Things were okay for 2 good weeks or so. The council kept the kingdom going, and everyone was happy. Then,
Heimdall attacked. The two finished. Father nodded.
with the deaths of the prince and princess, the council members, and the destruction of the city, and the kingdom fell into chaos and ruin. Small villages formed into nomadic tribes and began fighting each other for control. They're still out, apparently. The only real surviving part of Vagana's legacy is the ingredients to the love potion. Nothing else survived.
Fluttershy looked down, eyes watering at the memory.
I saw him. He attacked the palace first, killing everyone inside, and turned his attention to the rest of the city. He used magic, claws, he used everything. Killed ponies in their hundreds, cutting them down as they were in a field. Watched a young pregnant mare die. She was only young, yet Heimdall didn't spare her. He spared no one. This is truly evil.
Firewing wrapped his forelights around her tire to confirm the Pegasus.
So, it's over now. It's all in the past.
Fluttershy pied back and looked into his eyes.
But it's not. He's gonna try again. If we don't stop it, those deaths will have been for nothing.
You're fixed on trying to stop him now.
Yes.
Fluttershy still put on her head.
First I wasn't sure. But now after what I saw in our little chat, he has to be stopped.
Wait,
Firewing still was thinking of himself.
you spoke to Heimdall.
Fluttershy nodded.
First, I thought he wouldn't be able to hear me. So I let my anger out and scolded him for what he did. After I did though, the world froze. Everything said stop, and just like that. Felt like the stars turned to me in the speed of a bullet. When I turned around, I saw him. He was staring at me with a hatred I never thought I saw in my life. He said he was the one who brought me to see him destroy Fergana. What does that mean?
Fluttershy looked away, deep in thought.
I believe you might have suffered a mind jump.
He said after a few moments of silence. Fluttershy looked at him perplexedly.
What's a mind jump?
It's when a being has their consciousness pulled, either willing or forcibly from the mind, and taking it to the others.
He explained.
You still feel sick and giddy.
Fluttershy nodded.
A little bit. Better than I was.
Firewing got up again. Went over his saddlebags, taking the booklets and replacing it back in. Buries those in one of the passes for a moment, or taking something out and walking back over.
It seems you have forcibly mind jumped from your mind to Heimdall's. The best way to cure the nausea is.
He dropped the thing he was carrying from his mouth, pushed it towards Fluttershy.
Chocolate.
Fluttershy looked at it hesitantly.
Take it. Takes a lot. It really helps.
Firewing said. Fluttershy scooped it up with her hose and wrapped the paper around the bar, then scuffing it down greedily and quickly. She moaned in pleasure at the sweet, melting taste of the chocolate. Trying to remember the last time she had some, but couldn't. She swallowed the last of it and wiped her mouth with the chocolate to stain her lips and cheeks. She could feel her nausea go away quickly. Her coat returned to its normal yellow color.
Oh, I feel so much better already,
She said happily.
I'm glad.
Firewing said with a smile. The smile slowly faded away.
Now, I was wondering whether you could tell me what you and Heimdall talked about.
Fluttershy looked down fearfully.
All right. Don't worry if you don't want to say.
No, it's okay.
Fluttershy said away her huff. She took a deep breath once more and began retelling their conversation.
Started out pretty rough. Heimdall tried to kill me with a claw, only to find it go right through me. Then he tried to drag his down on me, but I was able to hold it off with my own.
Firewing's jaw dropped. His star took on an ancient evil dragon and beat him at his own game.
Looks like we'll make you a Dragonlord yet.
He thought. Well, he smiled, brought her in to give her a tight hug.
That's what go.
Pushed her away gently, looked at her eyes once more.
So what happened?
You said we should just talk, as stealthy creatures. She answered, yes, these are a few questions, that was really.
Did you, or did he say anything about Star Scrolls keys?
Yes, anxiously. Fluttershy shook her head, allowing Firewing to breathe a sigh of relief.
He doesn't know they exist yet. That's good.
But he must, though, Fluttershy desperately. He's been saying he's been watching me and you for a long time now. He must know they exist, he must! Firewing felt his bit his bottom lip and rubbed a hoof through his long mane.
Now we just wait and see what happens.
Oh, one more thing, Fluttershy added. Before you left, he called me Fluttershy Firewing. Is that my full name now? Her father looked at her absent-mindedly, lost in thought.
That is up to you, my child.
Firewing replied after a while. Silence fell between them for a while. Fluttershy looked down at the ground, glancing at her father from time to time. Come on, Fluttershy. Here's your chance. Ask him about your mother. Ask him why you left you in the orphanage. Just say it! Constance screamed at her. Fluttershy looked at her head and shook it lightly with a huff, making her Constance's pleas fade away to the back of her mind. If Firewing noticed the conflicted looks Fluttershy was giving, he didn't ask about it. He looked at the cave entrance and sighed, as he watched the heavy rain create a wall of the cave's mouth.
I think you should get some sleep.
He said.
We've got a long walk ahead of us tomorrow.
Fluttershy shook her head rapidly. I don't want to go back to sleep, she cried fearfully. Hightower might come back. I don't want to face him again, not alone. Firewing grimaced in fear in Star's eyes. He now his stomach patted the ground next to him.
Just sleep next to me.
Fluttershy hesitantly walked over and laid down next to him, beside their tussings. Do you know any lullabies? Firewing shrugged.
I know one, but it's short and not good.
Fluttershy rested her hand on his forelegs. Sing it to me anyway. Please. Firewing raised an eyebrow.
Aren't you too old for lullabies?
Dad, you have over 20 years of fathering to make up for. No, I am not. Firewing sighed.
All right then.
Fluttershy grinned and rested her head back down his forelegs by his chest. She could feel his heart beating every few seconds against his chest.
Comfortable down now?
Fluttershy nodded. Firewing took a deep breath and closed his eyes and began to sing. It was a low hum at first, then formed into words. It wasn't the best singer in the world, but Fluttershy found it to be soft and relaxing.
Darkness, darkness, be my pillow. Take my head and lay me to sleep. In the coolness of your shadow and the silence of your deep. Darkness, darkness, hide my yearning with things I cannot be. Keep my mind from constant turning towards the things that I cannot see.
Held for a moment, sung the words one more time. After he finished, he took a deep breath and opened his eyes.
See, I told you it was short.
Did you like it, though? He looked down to see Fluttershy fast asleep, breathing softly with a small smile on her face. Firewing smiled and kissed her lightly on the forehead.
Good night, Fluttershy.
He whispered, lowered his hand onto hers, and the rain came down outside. The sound of the rain hitting the ground was soothing, and for that moment, he felt at peace. He's going to die, isn't he? You're going to kill him! See, the rain's going to kill him, isn't he?